Georgian winemakers started actively seeking new markets soon after the 2006 Russian embargo, which banned almost 80% of Georgia-produced wines, a move widely seen as a punishment for the country's pro-Western stance. The embargo has now been lifted, but the sanctions which shook the Georgian economy almost 10 years ago helped Georgian winemakers build ties with Western partners. Georgian wine is now sold in 42 countries, and exports have grown by 250% over the last 2 years. And now Forbes Magazine has listed Georgian wines among the 9 best wines and spirits to start drinking in 2015. Writer Alice Faring, an advocate for naturally made wines, thinks Georgia is set to be a major force in the natural wine world.
One reason is that they have been making wine in this way continually, probably for 8,000 years. The traditionalists are making wine in qvevri, and those are the clay vessels that are meant to be buried underground. And they stay there. They can stay there for centuries.
The traditional Georgian qvevri method of winemaking, in fact, was recently added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list. But are the wines from this tiny ancient country, thought by some to be cradle of winemaking, available in the U.S. capital?
Cazzatelli, it's a phenomenal wine.
Daniel Bonnet is a manager at Batch 13, a small Washington, D.C. liquor store, which carries about 30 varieties of Georgian wines. 2 years ago, his store would sell just 1 or 2 cases of Georgian wine a month. Now it's 20 cases or more.
It seems like more and more people are more knowledgeable of Georgian wines. It is amazing how people usually come in and they think they know the Italians and the French are actually the one who invented, the original wines, but actually the Georgians are the one that, especially one of the roots, the vines, came from Georgia.
Bonnet thinks Americans like Georgian wines not only because of their affordability, but also because their wide variety makes them easy to pair with the diversity of foods available in this multicultural city. Washingtonians can now find Georgian reds and whites at most liquor stores, and even at the Whole Foods grocery chain. Rose Previtt, the co-owner of a newly opened restaurant, Compass Rose, says Georgian wines are popular at her business too.
Red or white depends on the season. Right now, I can't sell enough Saperavi. Red got very popular when it got cold, but we sell more of the Sinindali and the Bragazione and the whiter wines and the bubbles, in the summer.
One of the most popular dishes on Rose's international menu is a rich Georgian cheese bread khachapuri. It sells so well that Rose decided to bring some more Georgian dishes and wines to her restaurant. The bartender at Compass Rose, Jack Caminos, describes customers' first reaction to Georgian wines.
The first question is, are they from Georgia the state? They're entirely unaware that Georgia the country produces wines, and they're genuinely excited to learn that it actually has some of the oldest archaeological evidence of wine production. Once they taste them, they're usually hooked. Incredible wines.
Americans will be able to learn more about Georgian wines as soon as Alice Faring finishes her new book. The writer says that the book is not only about Georgian wines, but most importantly, the attachment that Georgians have to their grapes and their vines, which, she says, is more integrated into their culture than in any other place. Maia K, VOA News, Washington.